This video is called Metacognition, Humility, and the Spirit of Truth. And I want to talk to you about the way you think, the way I think, the way we as human beings think. Metacognition means thinking about how you think. And it's kind of important to do that. Because if we don't think about the way that we think, then we won't realize if we're thinking incorrectly. We won't see any errors in the way we think. Well, we might see errors in the way we think, but it's pretty hard to when you're not thinking about how you think. We might know we're wrong, but we might not know that it's in response to incorrect thinking. Humility is a vital ingredient when engaging in metacognition. Why? Because humility is what enables us to look very objectively at ourselves and the way we are thinking and what we believe and what we say, etc., and realize that it might be wrong in any number of ways, and also that it might be right. But as we all have witnessed, there is a human tendency to assume that we are right. I don't know why human beings do that, even when we don't know if we are. My opinion then is that is based on the ego, which was the subject of another video, and our own paradigms in life, our own assumptions, our own training, our own experiences, our own emotions, working in conjunction with our ego, and probably more factors than that I'm not thinking of at the moment, all combine to create how we think and how we act in life. And we need humility to realize that there might be a better way, other people might be right, other people might have value to add to us. It's not just that they might be right and we might be wrong. That's just the beginning. They might have something to teach us. They might be able to correct us. They might be able to recognize when we are right, of course. And it even takes humility to recognize that, because humility and metacognition working together, thinking about how we think in humility, brings us to the realistic understanding that sometimes we are right and sometimes we are wrong. Sometimes we do have good things that we are thinking about, and sometimes we have bad things that we are thinking about. That's just realistic. It's not that we're always wrong and everybody else is right. So humility enables us to have a very realistic view of ourselves, and specifically for this video, of how we are thinking, which is of course important for tons of reasons, which I'm not going to get into here. Having humility, along with this metacognition, actually enables us to grow beyond, infinitely beyond, where we would be able to grow without it. Because when we are just stuck in our own paradigms and our own beliefs without critically analyzing them, and having others critically analyzing them, and having the humility to submit ourselves to that, well, then we don't grow. We just stay thinking how we think, and we don't progress in life. And it's very important to grow in life. Living things grow. That's what living things do. Any living thing that is not growing, well, it's got a problem. So we need to grow physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, and I'm sure there's other ways that I'm not thinking about. So, in order to grow and to change, growth and change are so good for us. Positive growth, of course, and positive change. We don't need any, well, negative growth is not growth, but negative change, of course, is not what we're after. We're actually after positive change in our growth. So we have to have the ability to think about how we think, metacognition, with humility. We have to have the ability to be objective about ourselves. In other words, we need to be able to stand back, in a sense, from ourselves and look purely objectively at ourselves. And this is actually best done not solely by ourselves, but with others as well. Because we obviously are limited and we are not perfect. So even when we have metacognition, when we engage in metacognition, I should say, with humility, we need the input of others around us to do it most effectively. In order to achieve growth, change for the better, for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for the world around us. And one other element that is key in this trio of successful thinking is the spirit of truth. Because when we engage in metacognition, and when we do it in humility, we can certainly learn a ton from everybody around us, and the world around us, and experiences, and from ourselves and our own successes and failures and all of our other life experiences. But in order to grow the most, we really need the spirit of truth as the third element in this trio. Why? Because the spirit of truth guides us into all truth, so that when we engage in metacognition with humility, we get closer to what? Reality and truth. Which, as we all know, the Bible verse that Jesus said, the truth will set us free, and we all need freedom in many, many ways. As we grow and change in life, we want to be more and more free. So, metacognition with humility is good, but metacognition with humility guided by the Spirit of truth is the best. Because that leads us to what? Truth and reality, which are the best for us as human beings.